Hi there, everybody. It's another Sunday, and it's time for more football. And we're going to get right to this one as the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are leading our division, come over to Cleveland and to Municipal Stadium. It's 31 degrees here, as we have that early November cold, and the cardiac kids are about to become the frozen kids. And we'll see how we do this here. And we're going to receive this kick, and we will return it. Not too much ice there on the field, but you can see right here that it is somewhat frozen. And there's a little kick that is taken by Hall at the 6-yard line. He ends up running that back to the 26, return to 20 yards, and we have 1st and 10 to go. And what I'm going to do in this game is I'm going to sort of mirror what happened in real life. So in real life, as I was watching this game, I noticed that Greg Pruitt went in there for Charlie White, and we're going to try this one out, and we'll see how the two Pruitts do. So we're going to go ahead and go probably here 1st down over to Greg Pruitt. And the question is, do we go to the left or the right? And I'm going to take a real quick look here, and I see that it looks like actually they're on that left side. We're a little bit stronger. And let's see here. So we'll probably go over to the right, to the left side here with a little off-tackle run to the other Pruitt first here on 1st down. And there is a flag on the play right away. He doesn't get very much at all, gain of 1. And that flag is a hold on the offense, and that's a 10-yard penalty. And so much for the idea of running to start this game off. We're going to go back into the shotgun, and we're going to throw it over here to Dave Logan and try to buy ourselves a little bit of room and some space. And there's a false start on the offense. That is on one of the Pruitts, not sure which Pruitt that was, and now it is 1st and 25, and so much for doing a short pass. We're going to throw a medium hits to Reggie Rucker. We have him not out of the shotgun, and that ends up being thrown incomplete, and there's a penalty on that play, and that's a pass interference on Pittsburgh, 15-yard automatic 1st down, 3 plays, 3 penalties. This is an ugly one. We're going to go back to the I formation. We're going to stay in this formation. We're going to go to this Pruitt, and we're going to have a little trap play on the left-hand side. And it looks like Pittsburgh's going to blitz. Let's see if they do. And they do blitz, and Pruitt runs it right up through that hole. That was right where that blitzing linebacker was, but they sort of read that play and were able to get it. And you notice that they had the one blitzer, but they were looking run. So much for that idea. We're going to run this one this time to the right side again to Pruitt, and they're showing a blitz again. Let's see if they do blitz again. And the 2nd down play is up there, and I didn't see, there was no blitzer on that one. They were just showing it. That's a gain of 2 yards, and we had them on a basic defense there, as we can see. And so now we have a little slant play here to Dave Logan. Let's see if we can get that ball over to him. And instead, Sipe ends up holding onto it and eats the sack, and it's a 4-yard loss, and we're going to have to punt here on 4th and 12. And so out comes Johnny Evans, 4th down and 12, and we get our punt underway. And that punt is deep. Very, very good punt by Evans. And that's returned for 10 yards there, 51-yard punt. And the ball is there at the Pittsburgh 35-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. And we bring out our 2 zone defensive backs. We're going to hide this one away, keep the auto blitz on. And I think that we're going to look for a run. In fact, I am going to look for Harris to take that run there, and let's see what happens. And instead, they do pass on 1st down. That's complete to Lynn Swan. He's got a 1st down. That's a gain of 12 as Matthews tackles him, and it's 1st down and 12 now from the Pittsburgh 47-yard line. We're going to stay there in that man-to-man, and we're going to look here for basic defense and see what we can cover. And there's a quick throw by Terry Bradshaw, and he was looking for Smith, and Bolden just barely breaks that one up just in time. And look at this formation they have here. So we have a single man in the back, Franco Harris, 1, 2, 3 wide receivers out there now. That puts us here in the nickel. We're going to run that 3-3 nickel that I love so much. If you saw our little presentation on that, we're going to go actually into zone coverage here, and we're going to just look for basic, because I think they might run it here, try to confuse us, and they do run it to Harris. Harris has got a big hole, though, and he ends up with a gain of 8 yards on that one. So he shook loose of a tackle as Bradley drilled him. That brings up 3rd and 2, and we're going to go back to this sort of basic setup, and I think we're going to look for a pass here. I think that they're going to pass it here again, and they do throw a pass, and that's complete to Cunningham, just right over that man-to-man coverage, gain of 15 yards, and I'm still kind of not sold on the ability of the Browns to play the man-to-man. I'm sorry, that was over zone coverage. Maybe we should be playing man-to-man, and we're going to look for a run here 1st down as they're in the I formation. And instead, they move back and pass, and that's a pass complete to Smith. And just like that, they're starting to get those head games working, and it's a gain of 13. 1st and 10 now from the Cleveland 17-yard line. And what are we going to do? We're going to stay in this man coverage, and we're going to play, I think, a little bit tighter, and we'll just look for basic defense, or we'll look for anything. Harris with the run, and he gains, looks like about 4 yards, 2 yards, apologies. And as our injured player leaves and goes to the sidelines, it's going to be 2nd and 8 from the Cleveland 15-yard line. And let's see if that rubber band defense can bend but not break. And we're going to look again, tight man coverage, I think, this time, and we'll look for a pass, see if they audible it. And Harris is going to get this on the pitch out, and we're able to stop him there for a loss of 4. No audible, looks like, on that one, and that brings up 3rd down and 12 now from the Cleveland 19-yard line, and they have that 3 wide receiver setback out. And we are going to stay again in tight man coverage and look for the pass. And we have him back for the sack, and as Matthews getting that sack, and that brings up 4th and 15 from the 19-yard line. We're going to try to block this kick. And there's Barr with the field goal attempt, and it is good, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh here. And boy, that could have been worse. We're able to stop that attack from doing too much damage. And here's an excellent kickoff run. Go, baby, go. That is a huge return there by who was that right with it. He returns that one for 48 yards. We have it here in the Pittsburgh 47-yard line, just like that, 1st and 10. And what we're going to do is a little bit of trickery here. We're going to do a little pass over to Newsome out of this I formation, see if we can get them a little off guard. And it is complete to Ozzie, and he is tackled immediately as he makes the catch, gain of 9. And now on 2nd down, now we will run it to this Pruitt, and we'll have a little bit of a draw play, I think. Not exactly the best running back in the world, but we'll go for it. And he gets the 1st down. There is a flag, however, on the play. Gain of 2 on that. Encroachment on the defense, we will accept that one. 1st down, no matter how we look at that. That brings up 1st and 10, and we're going to go out of this I formation back to split backs, and we'll have a medium cross pass to Reggie Rucker here on 1st and 10. Get them guessing. And he makes the cross, and he's deep and behind the defense, and ends up gaining a couple yards after that pass is complete. Gain of 27 yards. 1st and goal it is, and we go here to Mike Pruitt, and we're going to keep the ball and keep running it at him, and he's going to have a little off-tackle run, and he is stopped after a gain of 1. It brings up 2nd down and goal, and we're going to go back here into, I think, the pistol. Let's see what happens here, and we'll have... let's see what we want to do. We're going to try a screen pass to Mike Pruitt. And it's an incomplete pass. Bad pass by Sipe. That brings up 3rd down, and we're going to take us out of this. We're going to go, I think, to the shotgun, and we'll have a little cross pass to Ozzie Newsome in hopes that he can catch this one. And that is an incomplete pass again, and Brian Sipe not doing so well here with his passes in the red zone. Here out comes Cockcroft for the field goal, and the kick is up, and it is good, and it is a 3-3 game just like that. 5:26 remaining in the 1st quarter, and we're going to kick this one deep, baby. And that ends up going deep back there for a touchback. I wish the game would tell you that, and we have 1st and 10. Let's see here. I'm trying to make a decision as to whether we want to do, with Oliver Davis out there, we better be playing zone. We better be playing zone here. We're going to look for the pass here on 1st down. We better be playing zone. He's such a weak and poor cornerback. They end up running it. Fortunately for us, Hall's only able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that brings up 2nd down and 10, and they have the 3 running backs out, or 3 wide receivers back out again. And they have that single back in deep, and there's a quick pass over to Smith, who's complete, and he's found that seam in the defense, and that's a 1st down quickly for Pittsburgh. And let's see what we can do here. So it's 1st and 10 again. We're going to have a basic play call, and we're going to see if they run it again. They do run it to Franco Harris, who's going to gain a whole bunch. He gains 12 yards on that one. And that's a 1st down, and it's at the 47-yard line, and once again, they are running the ball right over us. We're going to look for a pass here, staying in that zone coverage. And they run it again, straight again to Harris, who gains, looks like 4 yards in that play. 2nd down and 6 now. And they're going to go back into that 3 wide receiver setup. We keep our 3 men up front. There is a penalty on this play as there's a pitch, a little bit of a pass over, a screen pass to Harris. He gains 9 on that one, and that's encroachment on the defense, unfortunately, on Bradley. 1st and 10 now for Pittsburgh at the Cleveland 40-yard line, and we're having more of these problems where we can't really stop the run. And we're going to look for the run here and see if we can do something to stop them. Blyer now with a run, and he gains, looks like 2 yards, 3 yards on that one. 2nd and 7. 2nd down and 7, and they're still keeping the setup. We're going to look for a pass. I think that they're going to pass with Bradshaw, and he does drop back to pass, and it's complete again to Smith. Tackle is made by Bolton, but that is a 14-yard gain, and we're giving up big gains left and right. And we need to figure out what it is that we want to do. I think we're going to drop into the short zone again and look for the pass here on 1st down. And that ends up being a run to Blyer, and he is met after a gain of nothing. I was going to say he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he was. The clock is running here at the end of end of the 1st quarter, and we're going to look for, I think, a basic defense here. Bring in that short zone, and they pass it just right over the zone to Smith, who's there for a touchdown. And this is not exactly what we had in mind in this game, is it? It's going to be 10-0 here, Pittsburgh, at the end of the 1st quarter. I think we have enough time for a kickoff. 10-0 Pittsburgh, as they've just run the ball straight through us, and we have some problems, don't we? So, I mean, part of the thinking that goes into this is that maybe things would be a little bit different. Things could have been different in this game. Up to this point, if Pittsburgh were forced to not start Terry Bradshaw, as he didn't start in real life, I don't know. I guess it sort of depends upon, as we have a little pass out there, by the way, to Rucker for 9 yards, and that brings up the start of the 2nd quarter. I don't know. It sort of depends. It depends upon, what you think counts as realistic and what you think is not quite so realistic. I'm perfectly fine with sort of letting the chips fall as they may as we run this one over to Mike Pruitt, and he on that draw play, and he is just short. And that brings up one of these tough 3rd downs, and we're going to run it on a trap here again from the I formation and see if we can get enough forward momentum. And he does get it, and he gets the 1st down there. Gain of 1 for the 1st down, and it's 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 38-yard line. And let's go back to one of these formations that they've put out and see how good they are at stopping us. And there's a little hitch pass now to Reggie Rucker. And it is complete to them as Pittsburgh was blitzing on that one, and he gains 9 yards. And we have one of these again, 2nd down and 1 now. And I'm actually going to run this over on the draw play to Mike Pruitt and see if we can't just gain that yard and see if we can get this defense off guard. And we do, and he ends up with a fairly sizable gain of 7 yards, and that's the sort of thinking I think that we need. We're going to go here to a 4 wide receiver setup, and we're going to do a little hitch pass over to Ricky Feature, and he has it complete, and he's tackled as soon as he catches it, but that's a gain of 10 for a 1st down, and that is what we like to see. And we're going to go back to this I formation. We'll throw it over to Ozzie Newsome, a little bit of a short out route, and let's see if they do blitz. They can blitz if they want to. I don't care. I'm not going to change this call. They don't blitz. It is complete to Newsome for the 1st down. He gains, looks like 12 on that one before he's shoved out of bounds. And now that we're in this I formation, we were in the I formation. We go back to the I formation. We're going to run Mike Pruitt here onto that left side and see if we can't come up with something. Pruitt has it, and he runs, and he ends up being tackled by Green after a gain of 3. And Mean Joe Green, we're going to have a little hitch pass over to Ozzie Newsome and see if we can't catch them off guard once again. And that ends up going complete to Reggie Rucker for the 1st down, gain of 9. And we are driving just like we should be driving. This is a little bit more what I had in mind. And now that I think we have them guessing, I think we're going to do another little pass to Reggie Rucker. And it's complete over the top and into the end zone for 6 points and the touchdown. And here comes Cockroft to kick that extra point. And the snap is good, and the kick is up, and it is good. The kick is good, and we are tied at 10. So this isn't as embarrassing as I was fearing, as we're able to keep up with Pittsburgh, but we need to have some defensive stops. We stop them on special teams. Is at the Pittsburgh 18-yard line. 1st down, we're going to stay in this zone. We're going to key Franco Harris, which doesn't do very much, of course, to prevent him from getting a big run. And they end up throwing a pass that, fortunately for us, is also intended for Smith, and that's incomplete. 2nd down now. I'm going to click on this run. I suppose it does the same thing as King Harris. and we have a big blitz, and it is complete to Harris, and he's still able to gain. I mean, how many yards is he going to gain on that one? Gain of 22. Well, this is what happened, though, because we had 4 men blitzing on this, and that was that auto blitz that made that call for us. And what Bradshaw basically did is he just threw the ball over the blitzers, and Harris, even though we were keying him because that's what I called for, ends up with the big play, and it's 1st and 10 again, and we're going to look for Harris on the run. And it is a run to Harris, and we have blitzers running all over the place, and we're able to stop him for no gain, and that's what you kind of have to do to get no gain on that one. And we're going to go back to this 3-4 defense, and we're going to look for a pass, and they do pass it. And it's a pass over the top, and it's complete anyway to Cunningham, and he's got a big gain as that one was over the safety. Darden able finally to catch up with him, but not after a gain of 32 yards. It's on the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. And man, we're having some trouble, aren't we? We're going to do a short zone, and we're going to look for the run, and hopefully they don't have a long pass coming. It's going to be a run to Harris, and we stop him for a loss. No, gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now, but this is where we've had so many problems. We're going to stay in that zone, but we're going to key Smith, and we're going to look for the pass. I probably have done that wrong. I think we've keyed the wide receiver to run. We have blitzers running all over the place. It doesn't quite happen. Gain of 6. 3rd and 3. That was an incorrect play call. That's right. Because we're in the zone, we don't have a way to double. We don't have a way to double anybody because we just sort of stay in that zone. So I suppose we could do the 2 zone defensive backs and go for a pass, and then key Smith rather, and look for a pass here. 3rd and 3, and they might just run it up the gut. No, they do, and it's a pass instead to Swan, the man that we're not keying, for the touchdown. Lynn Swan with the touchdown, and it's 16-10 Steelers, and this might be a shootout. And the extra point attempt is up and is good. 17-10 Pittsburgh. And let's see what we can do to strike back. Well, I can hear the critics in the comment section are probably going to come up and tell me that I'm doing this wrong and that wrong, and I prefer it. I love this. So our man Hall is run out of bounds at the 37-yard line, but as you can see on the chalkboard, he was tackled in the midfield. So, Dave Coach, you still have some work to do on this setup. I mean, we should be doing, I think, a little bit better at this point, considering how many years this has been a thing. We're going to do a 1st down fly pattern over to Reggie Rucker and try to get a big gain, and unfortunately the pass is bad, incomplete. That's always a risk on 1st down, because if we don't get that pass right where we want it to be, we end up in a lurch. And here we are on 2nd down, having to run on 2nd and 10, hope that we can gain some yards. And Mike Pruitt is able to gain 3, but it's not going to be quite enough for us. Now we need something to happen here. We're going to do a little slant pass to Dave Logan and hope that it's enough for a 1st down, and they blitz everybody. It's complete. We dump it off to Pruitt, and he's down there for the 1st down, 7-yard gain. Dumping it off will work for you if things go right for you. And we're going to go to Greg Pruitt here. We'll have him run to the right side, see if we can get some sort of gain. And it's a gain of 1. Brings up 2nd and 9, so that didn't go so well. Here is Ozzie Newsome now. We're going to do a little short out pass to the tight end. And that passes to nobody. And there's a flag on the play, and that is offsides on the defense. That would explain why that pass went nowhere. And now we can run it here to Pruitt up as a trap play on the left side. This is Mike Pruitt, rather, and he gets a gain of 1. Not what we wanted, and of course they were keying him. That's what happens when you're a little bit too predictable. And now it's 3rd down, and I guess we're going to do a little hitch pass to Logan and see if we can get something going. This is why I say you have to be, and this ends up being a pass to a Pruitt, and he gets it right over that defense for a gain of 8. This is why I say you have to be a little bit careful when you're judging too much about, what's happening in these stats, because every single time for every play, some defense is keying somebody, or thinking about what's happening, or thinking about where the ball might go. And the offense, like what I'm trying to do on offense, is trying to think, well, what can we do to sort of fool them? Is there a way that we can do something that looks like we're doing something else, right? Maybe we go play action here and do a hitch pass to a Reggie Rucker and make them think that we're running it and do some trickery. And instead we have a penalty on the play. It's going to be a false start. And it was offside on the defense, thankfully. Something good happens for us here, right? Pruitt now is going to run, and we're going to do a counter run here and have him do off tackle on the right and see what we can do to sort of get them off balance. And Pruitt is able to make basically nothing, a gain of 1. So that counter play, that off tackle, didn't work the way that we wanted it to. We're We're going to do a medium fly pass to Ozzie Newsome, again, trying to just come up with some sort of creative play call. And unfortunately, Sipe ends up throwing it to Pruitt again because Newsome is covered, and that's an incomplete pass. And now it's 3rd down and 4, and we're going to try to have a pass over to Logan, and Sipe throws that one too quickly, and that brings up 4th down. And what are we going to do here? We're going to kick a field goal with Cockcroft, though this is really at the edge of his range. And that ball is blocked, and it's recovered by the Steelers. It looks from the chalkboard like it was recovered in our own end zone, which is kind of weird. Field goal was going to be a 49-yard attempt and ends up being blocked. And, yeah. Apologies for that one. This is me not being fully used to the length required for these videos. Trying to think about what we're going to do here. We want to go back to zone defense because we have too many weak spots, I think, to play man-to-man in our pass coverage, and we're going to key Harris on the run. And it's 1st and 10 now for Pittsburgh, and they end up passing. And that is a ball that ends up incomplete, a bad throw by Bradshaw after he's running and running and running. Incomplete, and that brings up 2nd down, and we are going again to key Harris and think that they're going to run. And they run it instead to Blyer, and we're able to stop him for a gain of 2, and that brings up 3rd down. We're not calling timeout. We are going to stay in that zone defense. We're going to look actually for a short zone and go back to the 3-4. I think we're going to look for a pass to Smith. No, we can't double him, so we're going to look for just a pass. So that tells me that, yeah, what that selection here does is it tells you who you're doubling. Ends up being an incomplete pass to Cunningham, and this means that Pittsburgh has to punt. Colquitt with the punt, and we're going to try to return this one. We get a little return, 5 yards, and that's a 2-minute warning. And it's 2-minute warning time here with Brian Sipe, and we're going to put him back in the shotgun. We're going to keep split backs. We're going to pass it, I think, play action to Reggie Rucker, try to buy him enough time to go downfield. And we're not able to quite buy enough time, unfortunately, for Sipe, who's scrambling, and he has a medium button hook to Rucker that is incomplete, and it doesn't quite work the way that we wanted it to in his 2nd down. And we're going to go with a long pass here to Dave Logan and go for kind of a home run ball. And they are not blitzing this time, and that ends up being a horrible-looking pass from Brian Sipe. There is a flag on the play. It's holding on the offense. 8-yard penalty that backs us way up. We're going to have to stay sort of with this formation. We're actually going to go, I think, to 4 wideouts and a tight end. We're just going to go all out there and roll the dice on this one. Long hitch patch over to Dave Logan and see if we can't just gain something here. And that is an incomplete pass this time to Logan. And it's 3rd down and 18. And we're going to go to Rucker, and we're going to look for a very similar pass pattern. And there's another bad pass. Apologies again, as like I said, it's difficult to be used to these long videos. We're going to have to punt here on 4th down. Still 17-10 Pittsburgh. That was a really, really bad case of clock management, I think, by us. And we ended up with absolutely nothing off of that drive. And we're going to look for them to pass. We're going to play that short zone and see what we can do. And there's Bradshaw back to pass, and he has a completion over to Smith, who's tackled by Bolton, and he stepped out of bounds. So that stops the clock. Gain of 9 on that play. And we're going to look for the pass again. Have a normal-looking zone here, and they do pass it, and that's complete to Swan. And that's the thing. You're only as good as your players. And is that the side that we're weak on? That's Oliver Davis there, who's not excellent. And we're going to keep looking for this pass. I accidentally left us in the 4-3, and maybe that's a good thing. We'll see. It ends up being complete to Blyer, the running back, and he's tackled there by Ambrose out of bounds at the 14-yard line, and it's 2nd and 6 now. And we'll stay with that short zone. And Bradshaw's back to pass, and that is deflected by Ambrose. And finally, we get a good play out of this defense. They go on this nickel, or we go on the nickel, as they have 3 wide receivers. My apologies. And I say they go in the nickel because I'm automatically putting the nickel, and that's a complete pass over to Bell. He's hit by Hall. He gets away and ends up with a touchdown, and it's going to be 24-10 here, Pittsburgh, in a second, and it is. 24-10, and they end up with the score right before halftime. We had the ball, and we couldn't complete a pass and had a big holding call that went against us. Hall is injured on the play there for Cleveland after that return. That's not good. That's not good. He's sort of a key player for us. We're going to, whatever. We're going to do trips on one side, and we're just going to sort of throw something on up here for Reggie Rucker, I think, and see what we can do to sort of scramble things for Pittsburgh. And instead, Brian Sipe, who's running to the wrong side, ends up being sacked for a 10-yard loss, man, 2nd and 20. And I'm not sure what we need to be doing here, but whatever we've been doing so far just hasn't been working. And this ends up being another dump-off play over to Pruitt. We can't seem to get anybody open. I'll tell you, 3rd and 17 is coming up, and I bet you the reason why, if we look at this, is I think that, their safeties are not exactly excellent, but some are good against the pass. What we really should be doing is we should be looking on that other side. Let's see if we can do trips to the right here and we're going to do trips to the right, and we're actually going to do a little pass over to Ozzie Newsome and see if we can do some misdirection. It says Sipe's going to run with it himself, which is makes me want to cringe, and that brings up 4th down and forever. 4th and a prayer, and we're going to have to punt it again, and I hope we don't give up another touchdown here. False start in the offense. We got to punt it here, and it's now 4th and 17. Those penalties are eating us alive, and this is getting uglier and uglier as we go along. And there's a return of about 10 yards by Bell, and it's a holding call against the receiving team, and that'll back them back up. That's 11 seconds left. It's on the Pittsburgh 41-yard line. We're just going to play, I think, in this short zone and look for a pass. Just don't let them get a first down. Don't let them stay out there forever. End up with a short pass over there to Cunningham, and Darden makes the tackle. Ends up being a loss of 1, and that should... Now we have 3 seconds left, enough time for one more play, and so we'll look for the one more play. Clock was stopped with 3 seconds left. I guess he was out of bounds, and there's a little awful pass that goes over everyone's head. Bradshaw threw that one up for grabs, and that does it. We go to the 3rd quarter, and we're going to kick this one off and see what happens now. Holding on the receiving team, 15-yard penalty after that was actually a fairly good return over to looks like about the 29-yard line. That'll back them back over to the Pittsburgh 8-yard line, and this is sort of what we wanted to see, and we know that they're going to pass it here, and so we're going to look for that pass and hope that we can hold them. It's a run to Franco Harris, of course. 5-yard gain for him, and that brings up 2nd down, and I'm still going to play that passing defense because I think that they are going to pass with Bradshaw. I know they run it to Harris again, and Harris can run all day. He gains 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 1 for Pittsburgh. Randy Grossman comes into this game as a new tight end. There's a penalty. It's going to be a false start against Pittsburgh. Now it's going to be 3rd and 6. And they do go into a 3 wide receiver setup. And so we will go into the nickel and we'll try to hold them back. And that ends up being an incomplete pass to Lynn Swan. And we force a punt. I think it's the first 3 and out that we forced all game. Of course, we had to have some help from some penalties to do so. And it's Wright who has that ball at the 45, ends up stepping out at the 45-yard line. He was looks like he was able to potentially go all the way on that one. Ends up just stepping out of bounds, unfortunately for us. And we need to get this running game going again. Let's run it over here to Mike Pruitt, and they're probably looking for the run because I telegraph it pretty well. And Mike Pruitt has room to run, and he ends up with a 7-yard gain, 8-yard gain. And look at that. They were looking pass, and that's what opened that one up. And we're going to run it to the other Pruitt. We're going to have him on a draw. And, boy, they were looking for the run on that one. Man, they were looking for the run all the way. And, no, they were looking for pass, but, boy, they sure looked like they were looking for us to make that particular play. We're going to have a little short pass over to Logan, and it's complete to Logan. And these short passes seem to work a little bit better. I tell you, we've had good luck getting short gains here and there, and we've had a lot more luck actually getting long gains on the short passes too than we have had from the longer passes. So we'll do another short pass here to Reggie Rucker, and that is complete to Rucker, and Brian Sipes got his magic back. He's got his mojo back. We're not looking at those big sacks anymore, are we? We're going to go back here to Logan on a hitch. try to punch this one into the end zone. And he does get into the end zone for the touchdown. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered, and we'll kick this extra point. So we get the stop against Pittsburgh on their first possession. We get the ball back. We score immediately. It's 24-17 now, Steelers, and we are within punching room. And let's see what we can do. That's a 19-yard return there by Pollard, and that brings up 1st and 10, and we are going to key Franco Harris. And it is a run to Harris, and we're able to get him in the backfield for a loss. So finally, after all the tilting, after all the problems, I'm able to get something right. We stay in the zone defense. We're going to look for Bradshaw to pass. 2nd down and 12, and he gets a complete pass to Lynn Swann right over the middle. No matter what we do, we can't seem to defense against that, and that's an 18-yard gain. And it is 1st down, and we're going to do a short zone here. We're going to key Franco Harris again, because if I had a 7-point lead, I think I would run here. And instead, they have a wide open to Smith, who has nobody around him. And that is what happens. Smith, thankfully for us, is injured and won't return. Looks like a bad injury for him, and that's a good thing for us. We can't stop him. I thought for a second that Bradshaw was hurt. No, it was just telling me that Bradshaw has 247 yards, which is exactly what I needed to know. Thanks. We're looking for the run, and they complete instead of pass to Lynn Swann, who runs all over the place. 19 yards for Pittsburgh on that one. They are running it all over us, and as you can tell, I'm starting to just sort of guess, and we're going to guess pass here, and ends up being a false start in the offense. Encroachment on the defense. My apologies. 1st and 5 now, and we're going to look for the pass anyway. I think that's what's going to happen, and they run it to Harris, and Harris ends up gaining only 3 yards on that, but that brings up 2nd and 2, and once again, we're in a bad situation. We will key Harris on the run, even though they have the multiple wide receiver set, and they gain 1, barely. I was looking at the edge of that ball, and it looks like he was maybe over, and he wasn't. We're going to look for the pass here on 3rd and 1, even though it's kind of an obvious running situation. They do run it to Harris. He has a 1st down. Gain of 1, and just barely is able to punch that one over for the 1st down. And now we're going to look, I think, again for the run. They have the split backs back out, and Bradshaw instead passes it over everybody's head. Thankfully for us, incomplete. Here's another wide receiver in there. We are going to look for a run. And it is a run to Harris. And we look for the run, and we stop him, but not after a gain of 4. Not until a gain of 4, rather, and it is 3rd down and 6, and we're going to go back into this nickel, and we'll run a basic defense because I think they could go either way. Probably should be running a goal line defense, actually. Incomplete pass intended for Swann, and it's 4th and 6, and we're going to try to block this kick. This likely will be good. Kick is up, and it is good, and it's 27-17 Steelers. And here come those cardiac kids. Let's see if we can get them back. I tell you, this rubber band defense concept is not exactly what I prefer. I would prefer a brick wall, man. Rubber band, I'm not a huge fan of this rubber band defense. We're going to go back to the I formation, and we're going to throw a pass to Ozzie Newsome. And you see, I mean, I don't know how much I can trust what the chalkboard is showing me, but in that case, I'm thinking, Sipe, just take a second more. It looks like that was a ball that was knocked loose, and there was a scramble for it, but Sipe's ball was arm was moving forward, and that's going to be that sort of tuck rule, and that brings up 2nd down, and we'll try to run it here to Mike and hope that they're looking pass. And no, it looks like they were looking for the run. They had a basic defense. Pruitt gains about 3 on that one, and that brings up a sort of desperate 3rd down and 7. And we know that they're going to blitz. We know that they're looking past. There is the blitz. There's a penalty. Sipe is looking for Pruitt there, and we end up accepting this penalty for an offside on the defense. So that was actually pretty good. We are going to run a draw with Pruitt and see if we can gain a little bit of room here. 3rd and 2, rather. And did we get it? We did. 1st down for the Browns. And I think we're going to run it again, this time a little sweep to Mike Pruitt. And let's see if we can open this up a little bit more. And they're reading this one fairly well. It's not much of a sweep run. 4-yard gain on that play. 2nd and 6 now. I think we're going to pitch it here to the right side to Pruitt. Figure that they're going to look for us to try to pass more, and I'm not sure how much I trust Sipe, and unfortunately he gets no gain on that play. Brings up 3rd and 6. And here's a little hitch pass to Newsome. Let's see if this works. Heavy blitz is what they're showing, and they are going to blitz. There's a real heavy blitz, and Newsome has the catch behind that defense that wasn't there anymore. 8-yard gain, first down. Personal foul on the defense. 15 yards added to that play. That was a good play call, and that was so good. Let's do another one to Ozzie. We'll do a medium pass this time and see if we can get this complete to him. Sipe with more time this time around, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Mel Blunt, who is stopped immediately at our 12-yard line. And we passed maybe once too often there, and we're going to look for them to run it to Franco Harris. It's starting to become garbage time here, and there's Harris. We're able to stop him for a gain of 1. Brings up 2nd and 9. We're going to look for a run to Harris again. 2nd down, 9 yards to go, and instead Bradshaw's back to pass, complete to Lynn Swan. Swan has just been eating us up today. Tackle is by Bolton, but gain of 14. No penalty on that play. There was a sort of a phantom flag, I guess, on the field. And we will look again for a run to Harris. And instead, they run it to Blyer, and he's tackled after a gain of 5. There is another injury on the play. And Webster, however, will remain in the game. We're going to look for the pass here. 2nd and 5. Ball on the Pittsburgh 32, and they run it to Blyer again, and that is a first down. Gain of 6. And we are giving up yardage like it's going out of style. 1st and 10, we'll look for the pass. Bradshaw is going to scramble himself after our blitz, and he has an incredible gain of 18 before being dropped by the safety. What is going on with this defense? We blitzed everybody, and that's what happens when we sort of sell out that blitz. 1st and 10, and we're going to look for Harris now with the run. 4th quarter here, and here is Harris deep, and he has what looked like it was a little sweep play, and he only ends up gaining 1. 2nd down now, and they have that 3 wide receiver set. We're going to look for a pass. 2nd and 9, and it ends up being a run to Harris, and he has a lot of room to run. Ends up gaining, looks like 4 yards in that play. 3rd and 5 now. And they continue to have that set, and we're going to look again for the pass. And Bradshaw does drop back to pass, and that is an incomplete pass, and that brings up 4th and 5. That's the first good thing that's happened for us for a little while here. Let's see if we can get some sort of return on this punt. Maybe we can get some offense again. That is a punt that is out of bounds at the 6-yard line, a 33-yard punt. And that puts us in kind of an awkward situation here. And I think we're going to run a draw play with Mike Pruitt. This is kind of an interesting play call here, but let's see if they're looking pass. And now they were looking for the run, and they end up stopping that one after sort of a minimal gain. We'll try with a longer pass there to Dave Logan, and I am running out of ideas. He ends up, Sipe rather, ends up having to dump that one off to Pruitt for a gain of 5 yards to the 12-yard line, 3rd and 4 now. And we'll do a little short pass to Rucker and see if we can throw it over this blitz again. And that's a complete pass to Rucker, and he's got some room to run. So that worked. That ends up being a gain of 16. We get it all the way up to the Pittsburgh 28-yard line, and we are going to have to start taking this seriously. Now 12:07 left in this game. We're going to try for an out pass now to Reggie Rucker. And that's complete. It must be a miraculous catch by him after Sipe had a horrible pass on that. Great catch on the 46-yard line. 118 yards receiving today for Rucker. And we're going to go over here to Logan on a fly pattern. We're also going to see if we can eat up some more yards here ourselves. And that is complete to Logan. Go, baby, go. And he has room to run. And he ends up being brought down finally at the 24-yard line. Gain of 29. This is more like it. Now we're going to go here to Ozzie Newsome and try for another one of these deep passes. We are in sort of emergency mode, and Newsome is behind the defense, and he has a little bit of room to run after he makes that catch, 15-yard gain, and that's kind of what we wanted to see. Now we'll go for this 4 wide receiver set, and I think we're going to run a trap run here to Mike Pruitt, a little bit of trickery here. And they do blitz, and I was going to say he has room. They were looking for pass, and they blitzed how many guys? 2 blitzers. Pruitt had room to run if he could get it past the line, and he unfortunately couldn't. And so that brings up a 2nd down and goal. Stay in the shotgun, give ourselves a little bit of room to pass, and that is an incomplete pass. Unfortunately, it's 3rd and goal, and we're going to have the tight end here instead, and we're going to try to dump it on in there to Ozzie Newsome and hope we don't throw another interception. And that is complete to Newsome. But can he get in? He does. He gets in for the touchdown just barely. And that makes it 27-23, and we kick this extra point. And I don't think it's time for the onside kick yet. Extra point is good, 27-24. That's almost no good, as you can see there. And, okay, so it's a 27-24 game for Pittsburgh. We're going to kick this one deep and hope that our defense can stop him. We haven't stopped anybody today. We have looked awful. We've looked awful on defense these last 2 games, and I'm starting to really not be sure what exactly it is I'm looking for and what exactly I'm doing. We're going to do a short zone. I'm going to look for the pass here, first down. And they run it to Harris, which would have been my second choice. And because we have the short zone, we're able to stop him, but he still gains 5. Second down now, and we're going to go to a man-to-man coverage, 2 zone defensive backs. We're going to double up on Swan, look for a pass. And instead it's a run to Harris, and we're able to stop him again because we're a little bit short. 3rd and 2 now. We'll go back to the short zone, 3-4 defense, and we're going to look for a short pass. Instead, it's a run to Harris. He's going to have a first down. He's close. He's got a gain of 3. 1st and 10 now, ball on the 34-yard line, and my apologies. We're looking for Harris. We're going to try to double Harris here because I think that they're just going to run it to Harris every time until we do this. Gain of 1 there, 2nd down and 9, and I think we're going to do the same thing again. I don't care. We're going to key Harris. We may not key the runner with the setup. Fine, we'll look for a run. And instead, it's a pass, and it's complete to Bell, and he has a first down. Gain of 12. 1st and 10 now. 5:51 left in this game. We have to keep our eyes on that clock. We'll do a short zone. And they run it to Harris again. So every time I think that they're going to pass it, they run it. Every time I think they're going to run it, they pass it. Gain of 12 for Harris. And it makes you almost want to throw your hands up in despair, saying, I just don't know what to do. They end up running it to Blyer this time. We have enough guys back to stop him. Gain of 1 on that play, 2nd and 9. They've been passing it a lot on 2nd down, but I think they're going to run it to Harris this time. Now they do pass. Bradshaw's back to pass, and he throws, thankfully for us, an awful pass. Bolton almost picks that one off right in front of Swan. And now that it's 3rd down, we're going to go back to the short zone, look for a pass. 3rd and 9. Bradshaw's back to pass, throws it up to nobody, picked off by Jackson at the 12-yard line. First interception of the year for Robert Jackson. And here we go. It's cardiac time, folks. All right, we'll go back into the shotgun. 1st and 10. I'm going to do a slant pattern over to Dave Logan. They're going to blitz. That's complete. He has enough for the first down, just barely brings it over there, and we made it. 1st and 10 now from the Cleveland 22-yard line. We're going to do a 3 wide receiver, 2 running back setup. We're going to pass another one over here to Feature. It was not featured in many of our plays so far, and that ends up being a broken play, and Pruitt drops that one as we tried to dump it off to him, and there's Big Joe Green, who's Mean Joe Green, rather, who's off with an injury, and we're going to bring out the tight end again and do a little pass over to Newsome. And you know that they're going to try to blitz since we have an empty backfield, and it is complete to Newsome, and he's unable to get the first down. Gain of 9, though. It came very, very close to it, and with it this close, I think we're going to go back to this formation, and we're going to do a dive play to Mike Pruitt. I wanted to be in the I formation, and I forgot I had the shotgun on, but the dive play works anyway. Gain of 2, and we can stay here if we want. We need to have hurry up, I think, and head out of bounds, stayed on, and we're going to throw a hitch pass over to Logan, and that ends up being a sack. I don't know what Brian Sipe is doing. Heavy rush, and Sipe, not quite sure he knows what he's doing, and we're going to hit the 2-minute warning here. No way to get a play off. 2-minute warning. All right, we're going to try a cross pass over to Rucker. 2nd and 14. And that's incomplete. And now it's 3rd and 14. It's sort of 3rd in desperation here. And we're going to try just a short pass to Logan and see just if we can get the first down. That's all we want is the first down. And that's complete to Logan, but it's nowhere near close enough. He ends up being tackled, dragged out of bounds. It looks like gain of 5 is all. Stepped out of bounds on that one, and this is really the ball game. We need something here. Yeah, we're going to call a short pass over to Logan. I'm going to ignore the blitz. And instead, Sipe decides to dump it to Pruitt, and that is the ball game. That is an incomplete pass, and they are going to run it to Harris. I guarantee they're going to run this one to Harris, and we're going to have to... No, they end up passing. Ends up complete to Lynn Swan for a first down, for a 17-yard gain. So they call their short or medium pass, and it's complete right away. We call short and medium passes, and all we have are incompletions, and Brian Sipe getting sacked. And that is the way that the season has been, by the way. His passer rating is not that good because he has not been playing that well. And it's a frustrating game. And that was a run by Harris for a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 now. And, I mean, we will look, I suppose, for a pass. I don't know. I bet they're going to run it here, though. I'm going, yep, they run it again. And this is me trying to guess again. And it's 3rd and 6. We'll call a timeout. We're going to try to do something aggressive here. And we'll have a short zone, and we're going to look for a run to Harris. We're going to look for a run. And he does fumble, but we get it back. Matthews with the recovery. Cleveland ball, no timeouts left. Oh, man. Harris forced a fumble. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, we have some work to do here at Action PC Football. All right. Let's see if we can get Logan on a medium pass. We need to get this ball away from our end zone. And it is complete to Logan, at least for a first down, so that's better than nothing. Gain of 13. Now it's time to run the hurry up. 300 yards passing for Brian Sipe, who has not passed very well. And we're going to go to Reggie Rucker for a medium hitch pass. And that's complete, and there's no way for him to get out of bounds. And now the clock is running, 54 seconds left, and we're going to go, I think, to feature this time. And we're going to do a little short out pass. And is that intercepted? No, it's incomplete. It's a poor pass by Sipe. 3rd down now. And we're going to try for Reggie Rucker once again, a medium pass. And boy, that probably was the wrong play call. And it is complete to Rucker, fortunately, who has the first down, but the time is running out. 10 catches today for Rucker, which is nice for him, but we need to win this game. All right, we're going to do a long pass here to Logan and hope that they don't blitz too many guys. And look at that crazy defensive setup. And I mean, there's a sack. That's a sack, ridiculous, and that's the end of the ball game. That's the end of the ball game as Brian Sipe is sacked once again, and we lose this one. Another heartbreaker for us, 27-24, Pittsburgh with the victory. And I have, I think, a couple of words to say about Brian Sipe and his ability to stay in the pocket and not get sacked. I don't know. People have complained about this. They've complained a little bit about Action PC Football in this year's version being a little bit too happy to have little passes over to the running back. And I mean, it's nice, I guess, if everybody's covered, but how many times did Sipe decide to throw to Pruitt instead of throwing to the intended receiver? It's just really going to give me a headache. 300 yards passing for us, 314 yards. We did outgain them in the air, but our rushing attack was really, really woeful this time around. And it's not for not trying. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This only works for us if we have a running game that can gain about 3 to 4 yards a play. If we're gaining 1 to 2, as we did today, it's just not happening. Another loss for us. We go to 3-5 this season, but we're going to keep marching on. We'll go to the end of the season. Hope you enjoyed that. Talk to you later, and see you then. Bye.